Well, they finally did it. Um, After 2 years of seeing the same team win the Super Bowl over and over, the Philadelphia Eagles finally said enough and defeated the Chiefs in outstanding fashion. Season 2, episode 61 is now live of the Third Day Podcast. Hope you guys are well. Happy Tuesday. I'm Nate, joined always by my guy, Brian Germinaro. For a lot of Giants fans out there, it was rough to see our rivals win the Super Bowl, obviously, especially when they have one of our former star players. But at the end of the day, well, for me personally,
Yeah, you and Michael Strahan, you traitors.
take this hat off, Nate. No, but look, I wanted to see the Chiefs run end. They didn't deserve to be here, and we'll talk about this game in just a
It
bit.
showed. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they were destroyed from the start. I mean, they couldn't get any momentum going at all. The Eagles stepped on the gas and they just did not let up until like the fourth quarter when they put their backups in. So, yeah, it
Yeah,
was
they started running prevent and like, all right, we don't care anymore. It's 34-0. We won.
exactly like we're gonna be just fine. So, we'll talk about the game in just a bit. All the festivities from the halftime show to the commercials, some good and some weird ones out there that we'll discuss. So, I'm
I
excited to
mean,
get.
the whipped cream commercial might be the weirdest one. Like they were advertising whippets. Like they were literally
Yeah,
advertising getting high off it.
it was just such a weird commercial year. I feel like one of the first weird ones in a while. So,
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
um,
I mean, there were some good ones. I was disappointed by the commercials.
let's see the corner booth. Nice to see you guys. Says go birds. I was right again. From of course.
Wow. Yeah, I would have bet. I would have won a good amount of money doing that. Guessing who that was from.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, congrats to Jared, who's obviously an Eagles fan. Was very excited on his show yesterday. You can check it out on Belly Up Sports today when it goes live at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m.
I was
Eastern.
gonna say like now.
Yeah, no. But
now.
but we'll discuss all the things from the game. Luka Doncic had his debut yesterday for the Lakers. I was watching that, so excited to talk about that. And
Some
then
money
with
off
the
that.
season, you did.
Yeah. I won a free bet from the Eli thing. The kick of destiny.
Kick a destiny.
We got a free
Gotcha.
$10. I got a free $10 bet. So I did the Lakers minus 12.5 and the over $130. I'm like, all right, something.
Nice. Oh yeah, congratulations, buddy.
Still
There you
down for the
go.
week.
Easy.
Still down for the week, but
Yeah,
did a
I'm sure
little.
this rule will kind of ate into that a little
Super
bit.
Bowl 8. Oh, Super Bowl killed me.
So I feel like for a lot of people that chose, if they had the Chiefs as part of their parlay, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you had it on your parlay as well for
I
the
had
art.
multiple Chiefs parlays.
Yeah, not the best time to choose them, especially
No.
this past week.
I
So
had the one I did for the show. I tweeted out
correct.
like one an hour before game time. That was just all like the Chiefs backup players getting because they're like 20-20. I'm like, I'll just get over for all them.
Yeah.
I did Travis Kelce to score a touchdown,
Mm.
and then I had the Chiefs just outright winning the game. All losers.
All losers. Yeah, they just their performance messed up a lot of people's parlays. So I'm not really surprised that you lost a lot. But hey, this is a week to always bounce back. There's basketball to
Yeah. There's basketball. I don't
hockey.
know. I might.
Nations.
No, the Four Nations. Yeah. I don't know. I might retire from gambling till the conference tournaments start.
Okay,
They get back into it.
Like March Madness and other things.
Yeah, like right when like the Big East tournament, the ACC tournament, the Big Ten tournament, like the week before Madness, get right back in.
Gotcha. Fair enough. All right. And then
breaking.
Oh, what do we got? What do you got?
Kellen Moore is the new coach of the New Orleans Saints.
Congrats to Mr. Moore. Just let the Eagles to the win as the OC. Nick Sirianni joked post game to quote unquote run it back.
Nope, not doing that.
Not doing that. No. I honestly, if Moore knew better, if I was in Moore's shoes, I would not have accepted the job. Or would not have conversations with the Saints or
My buddy just made a great point. Bro couldn't wait to the parade.
I know, at least a little
Like,
bit. Damn.
that's such an incredible point.
This man had
I
like
didn't even realize that.
less
Shout out.
than
The parade's
48
like probably
hours.
tomorrow.
That's Friday, but
It's
not
Friday.
to
Okay,
go too
you
specific.
couldn't wait
but-
till like Saturday or next week. Just tell the Saints, hey, I'm accepting the job, but like, don't say anything. I want to like celebrate first.
Yeah, like less than 48 hours after the Super Bowl win, over here saying, I'm going to New Orleans.
Bro, the Eagles just might throw stuff at him.
I honestly, for his sake, I wouldn't have accepted the job. I know, obviously, they agreed to it before the game. I'm sure before the game, but I don't know. I just think that considering the success of the season you had as the OC and the ability to consistently work with a guy like Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, a great offensive line, like as the OC, that is a blessing to have. And is a way.
The Saints don't have as bad as an offense as they say. Like,
but
they
it's
have
not
a
as
lot. It's not good.
appealing. Yeah.
No, but they have Kamara. They have Olave. Like, if Derek Carr can just be an average quarterback, you make some major changes to the defense, you could put a scrappy team together.
Yeah, I mean, probably not got affiliate title. Yeah, but yeah, like I'm glad he got a head coaching job, but it's just for his sake, running it back would be the best option.
Yeah, so. I think running back would be the best option, but remember when Kellen Moore was in Dallas and he was seen as like the next Sean McVay, and it kind of that like the hype around him as a head coach kind of died out, and it really died out until this season. I think there's like an element of like if he waits too long again, the excitement around him will die off again. So he's just kind of capitalizing on the hype right now, which if that's it, I can't blame him for doing that.
Yeah, I just think him going to the Saints, definitely a lot of work needs to be done offensively.
Oh,
you mentioned
yes, a lot of work needs to be done. Like this, Kellen Moore needs to be there as like I'm going to be here for 4 or 5 years to build. Like they had to treat him like a college coach. Where like he needs to be here for 4 years to build the program back up.
He needs a lot of time, lot of time to just evaluate and fix things and everything like that. So, wish him the best of luck. In New Orleans, where the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. So
yeah, you get to stay in the same building.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stay on the sidelines.
Pretty much.
I don't know the Saints. I don't even know what sideline the Saints are on.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
But
I don't think it's like baseball where it's like the home team's in this dugout and the home team's in this dugout. Like I don't know, they just run out. Either side.
It's like, at this point, it's like we don't care as long as we have a team on each sideline. We all good to go.
We're good. All right, let's go.
But the Eagles are now world champions of the NFL world. It was a complete thrashing of the Chiefs. A lot of us thought it was going to be close. I think the spread was like 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
1.5. Yeah, whoever picked the Eagles were all correct, and this was not even close. Eagles 40, Chiefs 22. It was 24-0 by the end of the first half, and the Chiefs' offense was non-existent. They couldn't get anything going. The defense was absolutely phenomenal, and we'll talk about them in just a bit. But offensively, look, I don't like to toot my own horn. I don't like. I love when I'm right, but I never want to brag about it. But for this game, I'm gonna do it because the game plan was for the Eagles to have success was for Jalen Hurts to do his thing and control the ball. Like it was gonna be on him if the Eagles were gonna win this game. Yes, I understand defensively they were really good. Like I said, 24-0 in the first half. But look, you needed to have a good offense to win this game. Because the Chiefs defense, they were going to shut down Saquon Barkley like they did. So who was going to be on?
And
Jalen Hurts.
They did. Like Saquon Barkley was a non-factor in this game.
Yeah, 25 carries, 57 yards. He did have like 6 catches for like 40 yards in receiving, which is the most.
Longest was a 10-yard gain. I think that was his longest of the night. It's like if you would have told any Chiefs fan that Saquon Barkley be held to under 100 yards total, like rushing and passing, you're probably like, damn, we probably won that game, no problem.
Yeah, but
And then Mahomes threw, 257 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like, okay,
okay, so we had a shot.
All right, it looks like we won the game. No,
But Jalen Hurts said no, man, and he was so efficient through the air,
Jalen Hurts had the game of his life, and
dude. Yeah,
like I would stay there. I'm like, okay, like Jalen Hurts was good, but like the defense is the reason they won this game. And if the MVP award wasn't such an offensive or quarterback heavy award, probably should have given it to like one of the linemen or like Cooper DeJean or like somebody on defense that like was a game wrecker. But
yeah.
I was fine with giving the Hurts. He earned that. He earned it. He played a great game.
Yeah, 17 to 22, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. That hurt, and well,
but it didn't really, because I think Mahomes gave it like they were 3 and out
at the beginning without like we talked about being mistake free at one point during our previous show, but that one pick didn't really matter. Like, did it hurt the moment? Sure, because the Eagles were driving, but
yeah.
At the end of the
now,
day,
if the Chiefs would have gone down the field and scored, and there was a turning point, then we're talking about the pick as when everything went wrong. But like the Eagles' defense stepped up when they needed to, so it was like, all right, you can make the mistakes if the Eagles' defense is going to play lights out like this. Like, as much credit as we're going to give Hurts, this is a generational performance by the Eagles' defense. This is the performance we'll be talking about for years about how good they were in that. They dominated that game. From every stretch,
from
the way
start.
they're able to just bully Patrick Mahomes all night. That Chiefs offensive line was a turnstile all night. Mahomes could not get comfortable in that pocket. The secondary was just reading him like a book. Like, everything the Eagles did just worked out.
From the start, like they were just on fire defensively, and like you said, they had their way all night long. So like I mentioned, 0 points in the first half. Mahomes had like 33 yards, 2 picks in the first half.
I was watching the game with my sister's boyfriend, and we're sitting there like in the third quarter. We're like, does Mahomes have over 100 yards left? Like,
no.
Like we're sitting there, it's like halfway through the third quarter. We're like, I don't think Mahomes is throwing for 100 yards. If he has, it's not by much.
No, not at all. Like, it was horrendous the way he was playing, and
I think it's the worst Patrick Mahomes performance we've ever seen.
Yeah, and as it should, because there's been just so many games this year where he's played average and they've still won games. So for the Eagles to come out and like be like, if you're gonna play bad, we're gonna take advantage, and they took care of business. They didn't blitz once at all against the Chiefs. They didn't blitz.
But they didn't need to. It felt like every time it was a blitz because you just look like, how are all these Eagles in the backfield already? Oh, because the Chiefs' offensive line can't stop them.
Yeah, and we'll talk about them in just a bit, but. Like I said, they got pressure with just 4 guys, 16 pressures on Mahomes, on 42 dropbacks. They had 6 sacks.
The one hit on that led to the interception. Like the Zach Braun, which I looked at it like, that's a horrific throw. And then you looked at it like, oh, no, he got hit as he was throwing. That's why it looked so bad.
I think it was Josh Sweat that was pushing Joe.
He was the guy. Sweat probably had if, like I said, the MVP, he was the guy that probably could have made a really good argument for the MVP award.
He was clutch on forcing that pick. He was clutch on forcing that pick that got intercepted by Zach Bond, but he was pushing Joe Thurman right into Mahomes, and Mahomes, you could tell it was affected. His throw was kind of his body turned that way. He was throwing it, and it was.
I feel like that throw was the point where fans were like, "Oh, this isn't gonna be like it has been," because like they were still like, the Eagles were up 10-0, and the Chiefs would look bad, but the Chiefs have been down 10-0 like every Super Bowl they played in. Then the interception is all right. The Chiefs score here. It's 10-3 going to halftime or 10-7 going to halftime. They're still in this game. They make the adjustments. They can still win. The interception happens, and it's like, oh, okay, hang on. This is different. This is the Eagles dominating the Chiefs on every aspect of the field, and then them scoring felt like a dagger. Like, just took any air they had left. Was gone after that. Like, Travis Kelce just feeded on the sideline for the entire game. And like, that is possibly the reason why could be because Taylor Swift got booed, which is one of the funniest moments ever, and led to the funniest Twitter comment I've ever seen. Somebody goes, so the report was Travis Kelce hates that Taylor Swift got booed. And then someone commented, NFL fans hate that Travis Kelce has become a Ken doll.
Yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, he is dead on accurate. Yes, Travis Kelce has become a Ken doll since dating Taylor Swift.
But he's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all.
If he's over here, look, I get he's upset about his girl being booed, but
Yeah, you can be upset about that, but don't say it.
Like, dog, you had can you talk about your performance? You had 5 catches for like 30-something yards.
My catches, he dropped a lot of he was 0 for 2 in the first half and dropped 2 very one ball was underthrown. I'll give him that one, but it still hit his hands. If you're Travis Kelce and you claim to be the best tight end in the world, you're catching that football.
Yeah, he's no longer that, obviously.
No,
but...
and if you're yes, you'd be upset that your girlfriend got booed. If I'd be upset my girlfriend got booed, but look at the situation. The stadium was 50% Eagles fans. People are tired. The casual NFL fan is tired of Taylor Swift being shoved in their face at any moment from the NFL. So let's just say the stadium was probably broken up 3 ways, 33% Eagle fans, 33% Chiefs fan, and 33 just neutral people that want to just watch the Super Bowl live. So you got 70% in the building that's against Taylor Swift. Of course they're gonna boo. Yeah. If you think about it from that way, it's all right, yeah, of course it sucks it happened. I wish they weren't booing my girlfriend, but it's a bunch of Eagles fans and people that are just kind of tired. So
yeah, we're tired of seeing the same thing.
But I can't be mad at them.
Yeah, we're trying to see the same thing over and over again. So if the NFL wants to shove it down our throats,
the fans are going to respond. They're like, no, we are that was the NFL responding, because I think at first Travis and Taylor Swift was fun. I remember the red zone I remember the rumors were the week 2, I believe. It was
Chiefs and
Thursday night it was Thursday Night Football with the Eagles, and Jason Kelce was asked post game, is Travis dating Taylor? And he's like, I can't comment on that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that's weird. And then I remember watching Red Zone, and then Scott Hanson's like, we have confirmation Taylor Swift's in the building. Like, oh, that's crazy. That, and then a week later, I'm like, all right, I'm over this. I don't need to. It was fun the first week. Oh, cool, funny. They are dating. Good for them. We'll keep Pop her up. Yeah, cool. And then after that, I'm like, eh.
They just kept showing it and showing. And that's the thing. That's, you can compare it to life, right? If you see the same thing over and over again, if you order the same thing over and over again, you're going to get sick of it no matter how much you like it. So, if...
I'm sure if they... we talk about how we like Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn, and we love Haley Seinfeld and Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. If they show Livy Dunn 24/7 on Pirates broadcasts, I'm sure there's going to be people that get sick of her after a while.
Yeah. Once in a while, the All-Star game was perfect. They showed her twice, I think.
The All-Star game did not show her until they talked about her. And if you have to talk about her because Paul Skeens was the most dominant pitcher in baseball at the time, and Livy Dunn was the most popular influencer on social media. So if you're talking All-Star, and it's an All-Star game, so it's talking about the legacy of the players. That's part of Paul Skeens' aura. He's not only is he dominant, he's dating one of the most popular and one of the hottest girls in the country right now.
And I think for that game specifically, they only showed her the first inning because he was pitching the first inning.
They showed her exactly what we thought. A first inning, and then when he was walking off the mound, they flashed her, and then you didn't see her again.
That's it. That's the perfect amount of time. And instead of showing her every single time, I think the NFL has decreased it a little bit because I know that Swift's always on the jumbotron, but
I think we only saw Taylor Swift once in the Super Bowl, if I'm counting, because the booing was on social media. Everyone saw that.
Yeah, it was on the jumbotron.
Saw her the once when she was standing up, standing on the holding the railing.
Yeah,
I think that was the only time we saw her.
Maybe twice at most, but still.
Yeah, but it wasn't every play, it has been.
So I guess they're improving a little bit, but still at the same time, her being the topic of conversation shouldn't be that, And
no, she's a fun side story. Livy Dunn was a fun side story to Paul Skeens. Travis, but it should be the focus of this is a broadcast for football fans.
Yes,
football fans do not care.
Yes.
They care, but they don't want to see her constantly.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Swifties, I should say. Apparently, there was some some news that the Swiftie fans and Chiefs fans went to CJG2K CJ Gardner-Johnson, basically. I do apologize. He went to his
Well, no, CJ Gardner-Johnson kind of started it. Let's
yeah.
be fair here.
Yeah, but like when you go to his mom's restaurant Yelp review page and give him a bunch of one-star
Yes.
reviews just because of what it's like, you guys are acting like the average Eagles fan now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Mhm.
there's no need for
They're
this.
actually
And so,
Taylor Swift fans from the beginning. You say anything bad about Taylor Swift or anyone connected with her, you are immediately a villain that must
and you
die.
know what's crazy? She doesn't give a care about
No.
you. She don't know you.
Yeah, no, she does.
She
Like
don't know you.
I had a Taylor Swift fan. Like I had a friend of mine, and she had another friend, and we were sitting around talking. And I'm like, Taylor Swift's good, but I think she's a little overrated. I don't really think she's had great music since like the mid 2010s. And she's like, well, you're a sexist, misogynistic pig if you don't like Taylor Swift. I'm like, whoa, where'd that come
Yeah.
from?
Yeah, like there's no
I'm just giving you my music opinion. I think her music was good, but I think it's tailed off a little bit. I don't think she's
yes.
as good as she was back in the day.
Yeah, I
I
mean
never,
I
I never said she was bad. I just thought she's a little overrated, and the music she's making now, I don't like it as much as it used to. That's
to
nothing
me
wrong with me.
to me she's overrated in the sense that there's no need to like go
We
crazy.
shouldn't be wearing diapers to her concert. I know I say it
Thank
all the
you.
time this show, but it's an insane thing that everyone just kind of glosses over. Like that's a mentally ill person.
Yeah, I when you're a fan of something, you just gotta chill. It don't, you know, go crazy about your life over. Like you can be a fan of someone, or like we're diehard
We're
fans of the New
diehard
York
Giants
Giants.
fans. We're diehard Mets fans. But guess what? When I went to MetLife Stadium for the Giants Colts game, I was online for a pretzel when they did the kickoff return for a touchdown. Was I upset? Sure, but I'm like, man, I should have just starved. No, I was hungry and wanted a pretzel.
Yeah, I'm like, damn it, watch y'all score that. Like no one's gonna. You don't
Yeah,
do
like
that. You know,
oh well, it sucks. I missed it, but hey, it's pretzel
that's
Sunday.
life. You
Yeah,
know,
you're gonna miss stuff like that.
did they have good pretzels?
Yeah, it will still.
At least not the A's, man.
MetLife
The
Stadium
A's.
is very hit or miss with their pretzels.
At least not the A's, man. The A's had a very
I mean,
interesting.
it's very good when you've had like 8 beers in you, but I was driving that day, so I couldn't drink. So I'm like, this tastes a little stale. This isn't as good
Like you truly got the taste
when I'm
of
trashed.
but in terms of the game itself, yeah, we mentioned Joshua earlier. We haven't mentioned Milton Williams yet, who was also drafted by the Eagles. Those two guys were outstanding, had 4.5 sacks combined. So usually, when we think of Eagles defense especially on the D line, we think of Jalen Carter or Nolan Smith. No, but Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, they made their statement
Yeah.
with the 4.5 sacks. So congrats to those two guys. And
the
Brian
Eagles just showed that it's something that you build your trenches up, you're going to win football games. You build from the defensive and offensive line. That's what you have to do in this league.
You have to do it.
When they showed the stat that the average Eagles offensive lineman was 6'6", 345, and compared to like the guys from the first Super Bowl, where it was like 6'2", like 285, I'm like, damn.
Hey,
damn.
like they said, she ain't want no puppy. She want a big dog. And the Eagles got some big dogs on that whole line, man. I tell you. But yeah, for the Chiefs, man, they just offensively, the O-line was terrible. I mean, the edge rushers had their way with them. The edge rushers on the outside, they prevented any Mahomes scrambles. Even if they did, it was for limited yards. And if
he
Mahomes
couldn't get
stepped up,
anything going.
dude,
anything.
yeah, because the rush was the edges were right there. When he stepped up, the D tackles were right there. Like the game plan was just executed phenomenally. And yet, I mean, if we look at the score, like, oh yeah, the Chiefs put 22 points. Yeah, but like 22 points all in the second half.
22 points.
The backup
second half, it was the fourth quarter when they put it up. I think they were down 34-0 when Xavier Worthy scored that touchdown.
I think it was like 34-6, I think, and then they put 16 points up in the
fourth quarter because the Eagles are running prevent defense. They're running
prevent defense, backups, solid.
They're at the point where it's like, all right, they really can't come back from this.
Yeah, it was over by the time the fourth quarter came around. So there was no point to even like keep the starters in there, like the Eagles did for like three-fourths of the game. So
Kenny Pickett played in this game.
Yeah, his pass was terrible. Holy crap!
Because it's Kenny Pickett.
Dude, on fourth down.
He's not a good quarterback.
Dude, I was like, God damn.
When I saw Kenny Pickett come in the game, I'm like, all right, this game is over. Like, the fact that Kenny Pickett is out here throwing footballs.
Gainwell
like,
back there in the backfield. I think
damn.
Receivers are pulled off the field. Like, all the back was for him, and I was like, damn, this is.
Barkley's hugging Sirianni on the sidelines. I'm like, yeah, you lost.
I think this was the first Super Bowl we saw backups in a blowout. I think, right? Because even the Bucks Chiefs game wasn't that close.
That Seahawks one is the one I mean, that's the game you compare this one to. It's the Seahawks Broncos game. Because yes, the Chiefs Buccaneers game was a blowout, but at least it was close for a good portion of that game. You know, like there was a back and forth at one point, and then the Buccaneers kind of took off. Well, this game, like from the jump, the Eagles were just the better team.
They sure were defensively, offensively, whether it was Hurts and finding guys like A.J. Brown. I think for the offense, what kind of sealed everything for me was the Hurts deep ball to Devontae Smith.
Yes.
Dude, that was right in the bucket. Perfectly thrown, whatever you want to call it. That was the most perfect throw I've seen from Hurts in quite some time. I'm not saying long time, but in quite some time. That just the ball placement. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. And that's just one of the examples of Hurts just playing absolutely well on Sunday. I'm proud of him. I really am.
No, he did a good job because everyone was saying that if Barkley can't get going, the Eagles are in trouble. I said it myself on the Super Bowl preview show we did for Belly Up Sports. Like, if Barkley can't get going, the Eagles are in trouble. He proved us wrong. Like, no, he can win you a game with his arm. And that's what he proved to you this Super Bowl.
Yeah, and his legs were obviously important as well, having over 70 yards rushing and that push touchdown, as we are used to seeing a lot of times from Jalen Hurts.
I saw him line up. I'm like, this is over. Like, I'm like, just give him the touchdown, even though I know he was short, but the Chiefs are not stopping a tush push. Give him the touchdown, and we'll just do the kickoff.
Exactly. So, also Cooper DeJean, his first touchdown ever of his career, came in the Super Bowl. So, congrats to him on his birthday too.
Which is weird. He shares a birthday with Sig. A lot of birthday boys on the Eagles.
A lot of birthday boys.
Yeah. I will say, as an Eagles hater, as someone who was rooting against the Eagles, when I saw Cooper DeJean scored a touchdown, my first thought was Super Bowl 51 when the Falcons returned that pick 6 against Brady. I tweeted this out too. I'm like, I think the last pick 6 was the Falcons. So, like, if history repeats itself, the Chiefs are going to win this game in epic comeback fashion.
Oh, my God.
I could be dead wrong. I didn't look into it. But I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, that last pick 6 was that Falcons Super Bowl.
I believe so.
Right? Like, I can't think of another one.
I'm trying to think. No.
If there was one, it was nothing like that. It was like, it had to be like 20 yards or something. Because, like, that was the last one that was, like, returned for a good amount of yards.
But just for him to get his first touchdown in the Super Bowl is just.
Oh, yeah, no. It's an awesome moment.
So special, special. Like, you mentioned how, a few defensive guys should have won MVP. He was, to me, one of the candidates.
He was the first guy I threw out there at my party. I'm like, it's got to be Sweat. They're gonna give the Hurts, but it probably should have gone to someone like Sweat or DeJean because they were different. Maybe even Zach Braun, because that interception changed the whole game. I think that really is when the Chiefs like, oh, we're gonna lose.
Cooper DeJean is not
even DeJean's pick 6. I think there was still this thought of like, it is the Chiefs. It is Patrick Mahomes. We've seen what great quarterbacks can do when they're down in Super Bowls. Let's see if Mahomes can do that. And then that pick happened. And it's like, oh, they're not coming back from this. This will be a blowout.
Yeah. How about the run game for the Chiefs too? It was non-existent. 7 carries, 24 yards combined. Pat Hall, they were just.
Did you see the Eagles fan with the Mahomes voodoo doll in the stands?
Yeah, that's I don't know, dude. If that's real, I don't know, man.
That's pretty funny.
Scary stuff, man. I will say that. Like,
every once in a while, you see some stuff and like, damn, is supernatural crap real?
Yeah. Oh, the way he played that voodoo doll actually worked. So,
like, is there just some spirits?
But Mahomes, second quarterback in NFL history to take 6 sacks versus four or fewer defenders in the Super Bowl. Last time was Roger Staubach in Super Bowl X or Super Bowl 10 to be exact.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. So,
Super
but
Bowl 59, 49 years ago.
quite some time. But before we move on to the next topic, so again, congrats to the Eagles. Great play all around from the team. Yeah, they're the team that has a target on their back now. So
Yeah,
the next season, if any,
NFC East, the first division with all 4 teams winning multiple Super Bowls.
oh yeah, would you look at that? And they say a division. Yeah,
and here's another trivia question for you: the Philadelphia Eagles are only the second NFC team since 2005 to win 2 Super Bowls. Who was the other team?
Us, my friend.
Exactly. It's us. Which is shocking, but it's us.
Feels good to be, on the good part of history.
Yeah.
So, but a few questions before we move on. With this performance, is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback now, or is he still? I think he is. I think put him on the outside.
I think he's
for
10.
Time. Okay.
I think he's like at 10. I think he's like a 11 to 15 range still, but I think going into next season he'll be ranked like 10 or 9.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think he's there, and I think he's arguably, but I don't think he's like cemented as a top 10 quarterback yet. I think he needs to have one. Like he's never thrown for 4,000 yards in the season.
That's
I don't think he's really thrown more for 3,000.
Yeah.
He's never had a lot of touchdowns. I need that dominant season before I'm willing to give him a top 10 quarterback. I think he's a very clutch quarterback. I think he's a guy that ended a lot of narratives that he can't win games with his arm. I just think he needs to do it over a full sample size for me to be like, yeah, that's a top 10 quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And I think I just feel like at times he may never have to do that.
With the Eagles offense, he might not have to.
He may not have to, but when he has to, he will do it. It's like he'll do it when he needs to, like he did on Sunday and against the Commanders.
You know what a really fair comparison is Eli Manning in a way. Like never, like you look at Eli's statistics, like they're never going to jump off the page at you. Like some seasons will and some won't. But when it mattered the most, Eli got it done. And I think Hurts with this game is kind of entered that same category of like a good quarterback that can excel when the lights are brightest. I think Hurts is moving towards that kind of quarterback, which is a very good Hall of Fame quarterback.
100%. I think he's top 10 for me officially. In terms of placement, maybe 6 at this point in time. I obviously, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Jackson.
4 right there.
What was the 5th one? I literally just had it in my head. Wow. Nice job, Nate. Way to prove to the world that.
Maybe Jalen Hurts is 5.
He is 5 at this point. But for the sake of argument,
if we look at all the quarterbacks, I could probably name you like 7 I'd rather have than Jalen Hurts, probably.
But let's be honest. I think for me, it's like 9 a.m. For you, it's like barely noon. So our brains are still.
Oh, my brain doesn't work.
Yeah. How many drinks do you have at the Super Bowl?
I don't even know. I can't tell you.
Okay.
Let's count. I just know I ran out of beer.
Good answer. Nick Sirianni is also up for an extension with the Eagles. I think it's well deserved. Even though he's had a few antics so far as the head coach.
He's a dork, but he wins. So it's like I can't even be mad.
He wins.
It's all wrong.
Mm-hmm. He's a good coach for the Eagles. He fits. And he's a very emotional guy, but he cares. He cares a lot. And I'm sure
he's dorky, but it's coming from a place of passion.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to ride the guys up, and it just seems corny.
Yeah, there's times where like the players, have some issues with him. I'm sure at times, but at the end of the day, they love their coach. At the end of the day, and, no relationship is perfect. And look, they make it work.
Giants players hated Parcells and Coughlin, and still won Super Bowls.
Won Super Bowls, yeah. Because all that matters is that you win. And these guys just freaking win, man. So, I'm sure he'll sign an extension eventually, but definitely deserving of one when that time comes. And finally, is this it for the Chiefs? Because it's hard for me to imagine a world where the Chiefs come back and they make it back here.
As long as they have Patrick Mahomes, there will always be a playoff team. They will be good. But this offseason should be prioritized getting Mahomes a wide receiver 1. like a big name guy, because Kelsey's no longer it.
No.
Rashid Rice is nice, but I don't think he's the wide receiver one. Worthy's, again, a really nice guy, but again, not wide receiver one. You need like that bona fide game changer. Like a T. Higgins would be a great signing for them. It would be that would be a signing that would be like, all right, they'll be in the Super Bowl next year again.
Yeah, I think that's a move that you would rather address in free agency than the draft.
Yes, because you need the established guy.
Correct. There's so many talented guys in draft, but you already have, two guys in Rice and Worthy.
That's Xavier Worthy's job.
Exactly. Too. Thank you. Yes.
Like, same reason why I don't want the Giants drafting a quarterback. I'm like, because we have that with Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt. Like, bring in the established veteran.
If
you have the young core, bring in the vet.
If we get T. Higgins, that's going to be.
I would move heaven and earth for T. Higgins. That would be the move. If I'm Joe Shane, I'm like, we have to bring T. Higgins in here.
That's a move.
I don't care who's quarterback. T. Higgins and Malik Neighbors with whatever quarterback will do numbies.
That's a move where I'm be like, okay, see, we're getting somewhere.
That shows that we're serious again about winning.
There you go. So, but congrats to the Eagles, Super Bowl champs. Hopefully next year we'll beat you guys once or maybe twice.
Twice.
Yeah, I'm saying hopefully because honestly,
can we win more than the Giants? Who win? By the way, I don't know if you saw it. The Giants have the worst odds to win a Super Bowl next year.
Fantastic. Put $50 on it.
I threw $1 on it. It's gonna be if the Giants by some miracle win a Super Bowl next year, I will win $400.
Put 50 for me.
Bro, you can check. I tweeted it out. I'm like, we're on the next season. It's just like my bet slip. Giants Super Bowl champions, $1 wins you $401. I'm like, yep. Let's go, boys.
Take my chances.
Taking my chance. T. Higgins and Matt Stafford. Let's go.
I'm excited to talk about Stafford because there's a chance that we could get him.
There is a chance you get Stafford.
That will be something I'll be hyped for, but we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But in terms of the other parts of the Super Bowl, talk about the halftime show. There was some mixed reviews. I think it comes from a place of, and you made a great point about this on our last show. I think you talked about how like everyone has like their different taste when it comes to music and whatnot. And I think for this halftime show, for Kendrick Lamar to be out there and to be the first rapper to headline a show solo, I think that's why there are mixed reviews because not a lot of people are like into the whole rap thing. I personally like Kendrick. I love his recent music.
And if you love Kendrick and love rap music, this is an amazing halftime show for you.
And especially if you understand like the Drake beef and everything like that, then that makes it fun.
Bingo, yeah.
Yeah, for the average fan.
At the same time, that's really risky to do. Like, you go.
Oh, you first.
I mean, I tweeted out, like, I like Kendrick's music. I don't really, like, listen to that often, but, like, when I hear I'm like, oh, no, this is good. I just felt he focused too much on the Drake stuff, like bringing SZA and Serena Williams out there. He focused, did 2 diss tracks on him. Like, I understand, like, Not Like Us won 5 Grammys, and you have to sing that song. But he did do I don't know which one it is, but he did another one. I'm like, all right, you're maybe a little overkilling on the Drake thing, which I think if you're like outside of our age, you don't really understand it. And if you're not following rap, it's like, what's he talking about? Why is he doing all this stuff?
It takes, I think, and I hope a lot of people have to like go into or like research or look into like what everything meant. And that's, I understand, like you mentioned, like the risk of that. But like at the same time, like for him, for the stage to look in the way it did, like as a video game controller. Yeah. Just,
the American flag was cool. Samuel Jackson. So I saw Samuel Jackson.
That was cool.
I'm like, oh, God, that is so cool.
That was so cool to be Uncle.
I was so excited. I'm like, this is going to be a great halftime show. We got Samuel Jackson out here.
Was it Uncle Sam? Yeah, it was basically Uncle Sam. That was so cool. I love that. That was a great move by
that is perfect. I love that. So I was so excited for that, and then everything else I'm like, oh, I kind of got let down because I got out the gate. Like if he would have brought him out like halfway during it, I'd been like in. But I'm like, oh, the best surprise was at the beginning. Yeah, like Serena Williams wasn't really a surprise because like we saw it for 30 seconds and it was off. It's like, wait, who was that? Who was that
Yeah,
dancing?
I was trying to make sure that was actually her,
Yeah,
and
because
it was
it
confirmed.
went by so fast and wasn't put. I'm like, oh, that's just a backup dancer that just happens to look like Serena Williams. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
no, wait, no, that was Serena Williams.
over here crip
Why
walking
didn't
and
they give
stuff.
her more time? Like
She's over
I
here,
think she was there for 25 seconds.
yeah, she was like crip walking and stuff. So it was cool to see her and the meaning of her being on as part of the halftime show. And then since it
Yeah.
came out, seeing Luther and then all the stars from the Black
Mhm.
Panther movie, so it's cool to see her
Yeah.
out there as well. She did a hell of a job. So shout out to her.
No, she did great. I love what she did. I wish we just saw more of it.
Yeah. So
I wish it wasn't like the 25 seconds at the very end of the concert. Like, no,
yeah.
bring her out more. They're dancing. And SZA was lip singing. Like, let's be honest, she was lip syncing that entire thing.
I don't know. I think no. I think the mic
I
was
think
on.
there were certain parts where she sang, but if you watched her vocals say the exact same while she's dancing and stuff. I'm like, this looks pretty recorded.
I think for Luther, you have a good point, but for the All the Stars one, her mic was on for that one for sure.
Yeah, for that one, but I think for Luther, she was lip syncing.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I could argue
I
she
don't
had
know,
the
like,
mic on. It's hard to tell sometimes.
It's hard
You
to
know?
tell, yeah.
Because you're not
But
like laser focused, like, oh, is he lip
no,
syncing? It's like,
I'm
no.
not a music genius by any
Yeah,
stretch of the imagination
same
at
here.
all. I'm like that just looks off. Like something didn't look right about it, and it could just be the way the camera was. It could be as simple as the way the camera was angled on her. It just looked weird.
Mhm.
Like, oh,
Overall,
my stupid brain can't figure that out.
nah, you're good. Overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. The show was 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. If I was more of a Kendrick's fan, I definitely could see myself liking it more. I think as a casual viewer, it was a fine halftime show, a bit underwhelming. Because I think Kendrick doesn't have, like, the national appeal.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have number one hit
And
after number one hit
yeah.
after number one hit. So, like, you're not going to have everybody singing along to his song. So, I think if you're going to have, like, a weaker set list, especially if it's a lot of his newer songs, you have to put on more of a spectacle and make more of, like, the show aspect. And I think he just was very simplistic with it. Very, very cool elements to it. Very cool parts. But I think he could have done more.
Okay. That's fair. That's completely fair.
Yeah.
100%.
So. For me, I think halftime shows, like, I saw this on Twitter. Kate, I forgot her last name. She does a lot of TikTok stuff on baseball. She does baseball for baddies. You probably have seen her. You know what I'm talking about? I saw her on. Yeah, she tweeted out the other day. She goes, "They should do Miley Cyrus next year." I'm like, now that's interesting. Because I think for people like us, you could do Party in the USA, which everyone will know. Wrecking Ball just had Flowers. She has all number one hits. And I think she put on, like, a spectacle of a show. Like, that could be something that I think everyone would enjoy. Or at least have it, oh, cool, Miley Cyrus is singing. Like, Hannah Montana made it to the Super Bowl.
Here we go. I was trying to look up the Super Bowl halftime odds. In terms of for
yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Well, someone is asking for a country megastar to play in Super Bowl 60.
But that's similar to the rap. Like, if you're not a country
Morgan
fan,
Wallen. That
Morgan Wallen is the same thing as Kendrick Lamar. If you're not a country fan, you're not gonna like. I like country. I would love Morgan Wallen to do it, but I know that it's gonna have the same feedback that this Kendrick Lamar concert had. We're gonna have people that love country love it, and people that hate country hate it.
Yeah.
You got people in the middle like, I'm a bit underwhelmed.
Metallica is an option. They better not. They better not.
I don't think that plays with the young people.
They better not.
No, I think someone like I'm trying to like Miley Cyrus would be cool. Sabrina Carpenter would be cool. I think going off her fame right now, Olivia Rodrigo would be someone they could look into. I'm trying to think of somebody like that was like popular in like the early 2010s that could like get like the millennials and Gen Z hyped up, and like Gen X and boomers would be like, oh, I know this music. I know this song,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of who that could be, though. Like, it's funny enough, it's Taylor Swift, but that'd be such a horrible idea.
If they pick Swift, we ride.
It's a bad idea because all the Swifties will buy tickets and the stadium will be empty at halftime. So you can't do Taylor Swift because she's too big. You need someone that is like smaller in popularity. It's like, oh, cool, he's doing it. Like Bruno Mars, I think is the perfect example of a halftime singer.
Like that one. Okay.
Like Bruno Mars put on a really good halftime show. Both times he did it because he did it with Coldplay too, and he was really entertaining that time. And then I have him like when he's singing "Just the Way You Are," which any Gen Z boy in middle school that liked a girl thought about that girl while he was singing that song. Every I swear to God, I can picture the exact girl who I was thinking of, and I knew everyone my age that thing was thinking of a girl too during that song. I put money on it. Every guy growing up has thought of a girl about that song.
You got me. So
see, I told I'm like everyone will like 2010s artists.
But I think I don't know about Olivia. I don't know. I don't think Sabrina. I love Sabrina. I just don't know if that's the option.
Maybe like Imagine Dragons because I think they have music, but I don't know how much it plays. They did Coldplay already. Bieber, I don't think he'd do it.
No, that's not. It's been a while, quite some time. I think they'll obviously shy away from the rap game.
Yeah, because we've had a few. I think
we just had one, so they probably don't want.
And we've done like a few back to back because we didn't like rap and hip hop the past 4 because we had like
that's right that
the LA one, which was cool, Rihanna, Usher, and then now Kendrick Lamar. So I think they'll like try something else.
I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of any artist. I think that they reported the artists like they reported pretty early.
It's always week 1. They say who it is.
I swear it was earlier than that.
No, I've always known like week 1 is when they announce it.
Huh. I must be tripping then.
Yeah, like I'm like looking at like these names. Like, there's no one jumping off the page to me that like, oh, everyone would love it. Like Katy Perry did, but she already did it. Like,
yeah,
I think already did it. Madonna did it.
It'll be a top.
Grande maybe could do it.
Nah, no, I don't know. No, that one is. No, I don't. I can't see that. It's gonna be a topic of conversation once it comes around for sure. But yeah, overall halftime show this past year, pretty good, I will say, by Kendrick. So yeah, commercials. Any thoughts on any favorite commercials you had? The bathroom break was pretty freaking stupid. The one that
that was great. That was great. And someone had to pee. I love that.
Well, no one's gonna take a fucking freaking poop, and then.
Well, I was on beer 6, so I'm like, oh my god, thank God. Ran.
What else? We had Harrison Ford, the Harrison Ford commercial. I think that was
Ford commercial. That was cool. I love Harrison Ford, so.
Was that commercial for Jeep?
It was for Jeep. Yeah, it was Jeep. It was a Jeep.
That's ironic because Harrison Ford.
Jeep. You would think Ford would be like, all right, we have a. How has no one in Ford's marketing been like, can we call Harrison Ford do commercials for us?
Yeah,
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but Jeep's like, now we'll beat you to it, and
hey, shout out Jeep. They're like, hey, if Ford has to take this opportunity, we're gonna take it.
So that was a good commercial too. I'm trying to think of others. The Doritos one was good.
Yeah. The whipped cream one, like I said earlier, was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Tripping. We're like, what the hell is that? The one, I don't know who it was. I think it was Instacart, where they brought back all the old famous. They met like Puppy Monkey Baby,
yes,
Kool-Aid Man, the Old Spice dude on the horse. Which shout out to 3 Rail Special Hockey Podcast. That guy is always on our show. We always. No, we do the picture of him on the horse with the Old Spice sound.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Stupid.
I'm
like, our boy commercial.
What else was on the commercial on there? I can't think of anything. Uber Eats. Yeah, the Uber Eats. Oh, Matthew McConaughey was on there as well.
Yes, the Uber Eats was funny.
That's always a good.
They were teasing it all year, and like it paid off. I'm like, how are they gonna do it?
That was
like
a good one.
Bill, like, oh, that's funny.
So overall, commercials not as much hype, I think, but it was some solid commercials, some solid ones.
Solid ones, but I don't think there's going to be any that transcend this game. You know,
yeah.
There's certain commercials like the Bud Night transcended the Super Bowl. That was a cultural moment. Dilly Dilly was bigger than the Super Bowl. Everyone was saying Dilly Dilly. I don't think there's going to be that out of this game.
Yeah. So, just overall, Super Bowl, commercials, halftime show mixed together. Not the best, obviously.
No. I think if you're not a football fan, and not like a rap fan, you walked away underwhelmed by the Super Bowl pageantry.
Yeah. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
It was satisfying to see the Chiefs go down. That's why. Man, call me hater all you want, man, but
I know. I'm going to say it's the worst Super Bowl of all time, but that's just me. Like, I don't want to watch the Eagles get a blowout victory. God, that's terrible.
Next year, we have the opportunity next year to make some noise.
Sure.
Super Bowl 60 in
California. We've been saying that for 15 years now.
I'm just saying, by the grace of God, if some way somehow this Giants team wins or makes the freaking Super Bowl in California, I may add, I swear to Bob, I may lose myself. I'm not going to go to the game, obviously, because tickets are incredibly expensive.
San Fran next year?
It isn't legal.
Oh, hang on a second. Keep going. I'm gonna do a little research real quick.
It's in Santa Clara, Levi Stadium, all the things. The colors are blue. No, the Super Bowl logo that was all blue was fake. It was made by a graphic designer, but I think the logo, it's just the bridge. I think. What am I talking about? Is it the NBA All-Star? I'm trying to think of the Super Bowl logo for Super Bowl 60. I swear, is it? Oh, yeah. So I'm right. It's the Golden Gate Bridge.
That's cool.
And the colors,
Steelers Chiefs. I can't read that.
Well, the colors, they're blue, pink, green. So people are saying Ravens and Lions, which
that'd be fun.
Look, man, I'm just hoping it's us. By the grace of God, please. Like, I don't know what it's gonna take from me.
That'd be a great one.
Okay. Whoa, what do we trade for a Giant Super Bowl appearance next year?
I
have nothing to give up. I really don't.
Nothing. I
got nothing. Crap. Hey, we'll think of something.
But I'm not touching the Mets, so no. I got Juan Soda.
Yeah, Lakers.
I tweeted that after the game was over. Juan Soda's a Met.
Oh my God, you're such. I have the Lakers, so I'm not getting. I'm not getting.
I figured out why Metallica's from San Francisco. That's why they're a favorite for next year.
God, no.
I'm not saying why. I'm like, that's why.
It's just
I agree with you. I don't want them, but I'm like, why are they like now getting? Oh, here we go. Journey. Don't Stop Believing.
So next year is gonna be for the boomers, because this is for like Gen Z type of
whatever
you want to call it, Gen Z's halftime show.
Right. I'm just looking at people that are familiar with me from San Francisco, of whom I deal with, and I think Journey is your best. Cause I think Metallica is too. Like, if you don't like Metallica's music, you're not gonna like that Super Bowl. I think Journey has enough like broad appeal that it could, and if they put a spectacle with it, it could get universal praise. I'm not saying everyone's gonna love it and think it's an all time, but I think people walk away I think majority of people will be like, it won't be controversial. It won't be split like this one was. Be like, oh yeah, that was fine.
We'll see. I just hope they pick someone that for my selfish self, that I understand, that I know and like. But
yeah. I would love Third Eye Blind, but they will never pick them.
Who's that?
They're like a rock group from like the 2000s. They did Semi Charmed Life. A really upbeat song about meth addiction.
Yeah, I don't know that. So my lack of knowledge showing. But yeah, congrats to the Eagles. Nice job. All right. We'll cover football throughout the offseason, of course, and we'll talk about the Giants at the end of the show. But real quick. The Luka Doncic era has begun. By the way, Anthony Davis already hurt, out for
that was so funny. He had such a great half, and then
and then got hurt. And I was like,
even the Mavs Twitter account was like, it's like AD has arrived. I'm like, this aged like milk.
Nico Harrison is about to get even more flack for trading Doncic now because, hey,
Is
you
there anybody that's more likely to get fired than Nico?
you traded a guy that was fat for a guy that
He
was
wasn't
injury
fat!
riddled. He was not fat. He does not look fat, or whatever the case may be. He looks fantastic. So let's focus on the Lakers part now. The Luka era has officially began. Played under 24 minutes yesterday. He was going to be on a quote unquote minutes restriction, anyways. But it's going to be around 30 minutes that he was going to play. With how the game went for the Lakers, there was no point in playing them in the fourth quarter. They were phenomenal. The Lakers were 132, 113. They put up.
Yeah, I was watching I wasn't watching the game, but I had a bet on it, so I was like checking the score.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, they're doing pretty well.
Pretty good, yeah, we'll say that. So it was a great game with the Lakers, man. Doncic had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. To start the game, he had that alley-oop to Jackson Hayes to kind of kick off his Lakers career, and then had that three-pointer to have his first points as a Laker as well.
Yeah.
In that first quarter. So promising stuff from Luka. Shooting wise, wasn't that great. 1 for 7 from 3-point range, 5 of 14 from the floor in general. But just good to see him on the court, getting back on his feet. LeBron had 24, 8 and 7. Austin Reeves had 22.
At halftime, LeBron only had like 6 points, right?
He
turned it up in the second quarter.
He turned it up.
I feel so bad. My buddy had a parlay in the game last night. Let me pull it up. So it was the Lakers money line, the over 236.5. Walker Kessler over 11.5 rebounds, all hit. LeBron needed 24.5 points, and he would have won. LeBron had 24 points. He needed LeBron to make a basket.
And so I'm telling you, like, he would have, I'm sure, hit, but it was just to the point that blow.
It's disrespectful to leave him out there.
Yeah. They were up by like 30 plus. The largest lead of the game was like 34 for the Lakers at one point. So there was just no point to play James or Luka in that fourth quarter. Like the backups were in and all the things. So, but the Lakers, 7 players in double figures, 54% from the floor shooting wise. All the starters that played were in double figures. Rui Hachimura had 21 points. I'm excited for him. I think he's gonna get a lot of open looks because of Luka. And LeBron on the floor. Jackson Hayes had 12 points on 6 for 6 shooting. He was a great lob threat. And then Jordan Goodwin, who we picked up on the free agency, he had 17 points. And then Gabe Vincent, who was slowly coming back to being the guard the Lakers signed him for, had 11 points as well. All doing that while holding the Jazz to just 46.4% shooting from the field, also forcing 19 turnovers. Obviously, for me, still a big concern is the center position. As for every Lakers fan that knows that, every NBA fan knows that the center position is a big, kind of a big.
The Hornets trade got called off.
Yes,
that was crazy seeing that. I was at work. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, Mark Williams, his physical fail. For those who don't know, the Hornets are talking with the NBA to discuss options in regards to this. They are in a way disputing the Lakers, I guess, and Williams is failed physical, but if everything remains true, the Hornets GM should be heavily criticized for trying to fleece the Lakers for doing this.
The Lakers are a well-run organization right now. They just fleeced the Mavs. They're not getting fleeced.
They fleeced the Mavs in the most I don't want to say legal, but in the most
as close you can get to tampering as possible without tampering.
There you go. Nice. Good for the Lakers to kind of catch this and call off the trade, but it'd be nice to have Mark Williams, but just all the red flags from the physical, not believing that
Luka fails his physical. You're like, all right, we just sweep that under the rug.
But if it's Mark Williams, it's like, so. But the Lakers are definitely looking for a new center. Alex Len is an option, so we'll see the Lakers do that. But Jackson Hayes, great performance by him yesterday. Great, he's a good lob threat that can play with Luka. But there's a lot of times last night where the Lakers went small with James at the 5 or Vanderbilt at the 5. So we'll see how that's going to work out for the foreseeable future. But they play the Jazz tomorrow before the All-Star game. again, but this time it's in Utah. But just good to see Luka on the floor again, man. I'm super excited. It's been quite some time since I've been excited about the Lakers. It's been tough ever since the 2020 season. Us making it into the play-in tournament, but then losing to like Denver or whoever the case may be. I'm very happy to be a Lakers fan right now.
Yeah,
so
as you should be.
Yeah, it's been quite. It's like you mentioned last week or the week before. It's like you with the Mets. When the Mets season starts, like when we talk about that, like it's gonna be exciting times for both of us.
Yeah,
just not football wise. So
well, I mean, it's exciting for my football. I like Notre Dame.
Yes, that is correct. To be more specific, the NFL is just something that
the NFL is not our thing right now.
But once it is, it's going to be a great topic of conversation. So, but speaking about the Giants, the offseason officially begins, and it kind of started for me a little early, for us a little early, with Amari Toomer. I didn't hear about this until yesterday, and I appreciate you for bringing this up to me last night when I was prepping the show. Michael Strahan was waving the flag, for those of you who don't know, the Eagles flag, during his interview with Saquon Barkley that was aired on TV before the Super Bowl. And Amani Toomer. No, yes. It's not Amari, right? It's Amani Toomer. He called Strahan's actions. I thought he was criticizing Strahan. He wasn't.
No, he criticized Mara, which is
he called it a warning shot to the Giants. He talked about how like we need results. We're proud to be part of our organization, but we're not going to sit around and accept this crap or wave our pom-poms, whatever the case may be. And that was the most perfect point you could have. Because as fans, we're not going to sit here and accept this complete mess of organization. Yes, I know we'll let Saquon go. I know we'll let Xavier McKinney go. But it's to the point where it's like you weren't going to have success with just those two guys. There's so many issues and holes with this team, whether it was the quarterback position, obviously resigning Daniel Jones. There is so much to be fixed that this offseason, I know last offseason, I'm sure I said like this offseason is a big offseason for us. This is the big one. This is truly the big one. This is the last, if things don't work out, this is the last year for Joe Shane and Brian Dibble. Like they need to get this right. They need to, they have the cap space. They can throw the money at the players they need. And like I said, we're not going to sit here and accept this, because if we do, if we're going to be the same team like we were this past season, we're going to be the worst team in the NFL, no matter what the record says. I know we were like the third worst team in the league according to record this past year. If we have the same season like we did last year, we're going to be right back where we are, maybe even worse as a number one overall pick. And I'm sure if we had the number one overall pick next year, we'll be like, yeah, we get to pick whoever we want. But yeah, which would be, but we don't want that. Like we want to have success. We made the playoffs like what, 3 years ago?
Twice since Super Bowl 46.
Yeah,
is a better way of phrasing it.
Yeah, and they all ended in a crappy way. We got blown out by Philadelphia recently, and then against the Packers, we were dropping passes. Like, no, we can't. For the type of organization that this team is, what we've done recently is it's not. We shouldn't be happy about. Even the playoff run, like we got blown up by the Eagles. Like, no, it's unacceptable. So, what are your thoughts on Toomer's comments?
I thought Toomer hit the nail on the head, because I saw Michael Strahan do it. I was upset by it, but like I had fun with it. I was calling him like Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, turning to the dark side, doing all that stuff. And like it hurt me, it bugged me. But like some Giants fans calling for us to unretire his number, like, all right, guys, let's settle down here. Like that's a bit too extreme.
Yeah, like he's an analyst. He doesn't have to like be like, oh, I'm a Giant for life. I'd never. What had the Giants done to
bingo? And that's where it is. If the Giants were good, or at least a respectable organization, like going 500, kind of making playoff runs, kind of not, kind of like in the middle of everything, that segment never happens, because they never put Strahan in the position to start rooting for, the Eagles. That happened because the Giants are such a laughing stock that it's just easy points to dunk on them. So from that aspect, Toomer going, we're proud. We want to be proud of the Giants. That's where it comes from. Because if the Giants put a good product on the field, or at least are good this year, Saquon Barkley being a giant laying walk, it's not brought up every single time you talk about Saquon Barkley. It's mentioned, but if the Giants, go 8-9 this year, it's like, all right, it happened, but hey, they're still a good football team. They just let a good piece walk away. Happens.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. So I think Toomer hit right on the head where, like, we need to see results. Like, if you don't want the Strahan stuff to happen, don't be a laughingstock on the field. Prove on the field why you deserve to be a good team.
Yeah, it's part of the reason why, like, for me, like, I didn't mind rooting for the Eagles to win because I'm just like, okay, my team's they're crap. They have made me not enjoy football for the first time ever in my life this year because of just the way they.
It was
play.
not enjoyable. Like, why would you get up to watch this team? Why can you, like he said, like, you want to say with your chest, I'm a Giants fan, not say, oh, I'm a Giants fan, and like kind of kick a rock, make people like either feel bad for you or laugh at you. That's for teams like the Cleveland Browns, which are a historically bad organization.
Yeah. So it's like, if the Giants want to win a lot of us over, I mean, we'll always be diehard fans. So I'm never going to pick another team.
We're not leaving, but like we want to be excited about Giants football again.
Yeah, exactly.
This was our 100th anniversary, and it's arguably the worst season in franchise history.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we want results. We just want to win.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. And if the Giants...
I'm tired of sugarcoating it. The fact that Chris Mara and Tim McDonald are still in high-ranking football operation positions, they need to be fired this offseason.
They have.
This offseason. Because you know why? Because just because their last name is Mara or they're related to you doesn't mean they're good. It's not the 1950s anymore when the Maras were these football experts. That's gone. Hire football people to run your football team. Don't hire these nepotism hires. That's what's causing us. All right? Because when Chris Mara was put into a senior player personnel executive, 2011. What have the Giants done since 2011?
Nada.
Nothing. I think he was in that position right after the Super Bowl. He was put in that position. So you could almost be like, boom, there's nepotism hire really screwing us. Because as soon as he was hired, everything went to crap.
Yeah, if Mara knows better, he won't. And that's the thing. I think they're going to be there's not going to be any changes there. No. They'll be part of the.
If I'm Roger Goodell, I'm and you can't touch Mara because like his last name is Mara, and it's the founding fathers of the NFL was John Mara and all that. If I'm Roger Goodell, I'm on the phone with John Mara, like, what the hell are you guys doing to one of our most profitable franchises? If you guys are good, you know how much money we're going to make in the league and stuff? If the New York Giants are good.
I would argue to like when the Giants are good,
the league's better.
The league's good.
The league is better when the Packers, the Bears, the Giants, and the Steelers are all good. When the original teams are good, the NFL is better because there's the history behind it.
Correct. So if we want to get to where we want to be, this offseason is the biggest one that we have, that we'll ever have. And that
because there has to be improvements this year.
Correct.
It can't be it has to be like we have to see like go back to like 8 wins. I think it's like where this team has to be.
Oh yeah.
8 or 9 wins.
If we can get 8 or 9 wins, I would be ecstatic because at least
the only way Dable can save his job is if he gets like 7 wins and it's a lot of 1-score games, so just don't go his way. That's the only way they're saving their jobs if they get less than 8 wins.
Plus, if they're competitive, put up points. Like none of this.
Like in every game, the one-score game, and every loss is like they lost by a field goal on the final drive. It's like okay, they made progress. Let's give them one more offseason and see where they go because they're right. They did everything right, and they're right there.
And considering the schedule that's coming up for them in 2025, 7, 8, 9 wins, that'll do it.
It's a brutal schedule. So if you can do that, you'll at least you'll turn heads like, okay.
Like you saved your job.
You took the step in the right direction. Give them another offseason, build out the roster more, and then let's see if they can take the next step, which is making a playoff. And that doesn't happen, we fire them.
Making the playoffs and making noise.
Exactly.
In the playoffs. So. But recently, the Giants hired Chad Hall to be the assistant quarterbacks coach. Had some familiarity with Dable. from their days in Buffalo from 2018 to 2022. Was recently the receivers coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's to note.
Also, yeah.
Yep, brother-in-law to Matthew Stafford, who was
it's a fun note, but like it means nothing. Like the Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett to lure Aaron Rodgers to Denver. Aaron Rodgers didn't want to go to Denver, so he didn't go.
But this seems more realistic in terms of getting Stafford here because
it does. But at the same time, it's just like I've seen these connections. These connections don't always work the way people think they do.
That's true. But all I'm asking for this Giants team this offseason, please sign the right guys, draft well. Hey, Thibodeau, by the way, accept his 5th-year option and then just lock him in a room with like Strahan or Justin Tucker.
No, Justin Tucker. Strahan's on the outside right now. We don't talk about Michael Strahan right now.
Correct. Yeah, just lock him in a room with Justin Tuck,
Justin Tuck, Pierre Paul, Omanura, Lawrence Taylor.
I don't care.
If Lawrence Taylor introduces, I'm not going to finish that one. Nope, not going to finish that.
Just lock him in a room with somebody that will help him unlock his pass rushing skills. I think we'll be okay.
Because he's right there. It's just inconsistent. It's just inconsistency. It's all it is.
Oh my!
If
that's all it is.
Consistent, he's there.
Him and Burns would be a really, really good 1-2 duo if Thibodeau can be more consistent. But look, man, this offseason is going to be a good one to cover. And for this Giants team, man, please just make the right moves, man. Make us love football again.
Make us want to turn games on Sunday. Not like, oh crap, I've watched the Giants today. Yeah. I just want to watch Red Zone.
Help us be proud Giants fans again, and everything in the world is gonna be okay. We're fans of the Lakers, we're fans of the Mets, but this podcast was started because
it was originally called the G-Men Corner. Don't forget, this was a solely Giants podcast at one point, and then it just kind of expanded.
Yeah, so that's all we want, man. Is for the Giants to be just to give us some sort of hope, and we'll be okay.
Yep,
that's all we ask. So, but that will do it for episode 61 of season 2 of the Third and 10 podcast. We appreciate you guys for stopping by as always. We love your support. We thank you for doing so. We've seen the TikTok comments. We appreciate that. All the likes, views, all the things. We see it. We love it. And I promise we respond back to every single one because, you guys taking the time out of your day to respond or say what's on your chest. We appreciate that. So thank you so much for that. You can follow Brian at BrianPG1016 on X. You can follow me at Nathan_124, and you can follow our Third and 10 podcast page on X, Instagram, TikTok at Third and 10 Pod for any clips from our full shows. We'll be back on Thursday. We will more than likely talk about more about the off season for the Giants. Not sure what exact topics we'll discuss yet. But we'll cover the off season. We'll talk about some baseball as it is.
Pitchers and catchers have reported.
A lot
of the Mets are at Port St. Lucie right now. A lot of great clips coming out from there.
All right.
And excited.
We'll talk about that definitely on Thursday as well about your Mets.
11 days till the first spring training game for the New York Metropolitans.
Super excited for just baseball is back.
One sort of plays baseball for the Mets in 10 days.
That's going to be exciting to see. It's exciting to see. So we'll talk about all those things, not just on Thursday, but throughout the rest of February and March and April. It's going to be just because football ends doesn't mean that this show ends. We cover all the things, man. Basketball,
all season,
baseball,
draft, baseball, hockey, everything.
Sport doesn't die, man. That's the beauty of it. So we love it. But until Thursday, we hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening, watching, all the things, and we will see you guys in the next